Welcome to Healing, Hope, and Health, the program proudly brought to you by Hospice of Washington County. On this program, we often talk about how family members care for a seriously ill loved one. But today, we're going to be talking about how to support and care for those who are grieving a recent death. Loving and caring for someone who's grieving can be difficult. People want to offer words of comfort, but worry about sounding trite. Bringing gifts of food to the bereaved is a common practice, but are there other ways of showing our concern and support? With the holidays fast approaching, are there other considerations that should be taken into account when selecting a gift for the bereaved? Fortunately, Cathy Campbell, Hospice of Washington County's Manager of Bereavement Services, is here today to address these questions. Welcome, Cathy. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Sure. So let me get started here and ask, so gifts given to those who are grieving are intended to communicate a loving presence, that the person's not alone, that we're there for you. People want to get it right. Are you frequently asked what makes a good gift like that?
Oftentimes we are asked, and individuals are really looking how to personalize gifts and convey comfort.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, flowers are always appropriate and appreciated, but I know that you're a creative person and you sometimes encourage people to think out of the box. I was wondering, what advice do you have for people wanting to purchase either a unique holiday gift or a thinking of you gift for somebody who's lost a loved one?
It's a great question, and I think most importantly, I would encourage the individual just to be very genuine. It's the thought that counts, and to really be open for finding ideas. It could be books on grief and healing. It could be the herb rosemary is for remembrance. It might be a topiary or some kind of seedling. It could be gifts that convey peace and comfort, like a tranquility fountain or instrumental music. It could be journals, scrapbooks, picture frames. There are many, many options.
And I think I heard you one time talk about memorial jewelry. Could you just quickly mention that?
Sure. There are so many creative options available, and all one has to do really is go online and do a search. Memorial jewelry, that would be anything from the birthstone of the deceased to the grieving individual, would bring great comfort, as well as options for those whose loved one was cremated. There are options for putting a small trace amount of cremains actually into the piece of jewelry, or into blown glass, or into a sculpture of some sort.
If some of our viewers were interested in talking with you more about this, could they give you a call at Hospice?
Absolutely.
Okay, that'd be great. Cathy, how about ideas for patients who are seriously ill? What kind of gift suggestions would you have for people thinking about purchasing gifts for them now or during the holidays?
That's a great question as well. I think in this case, what I would always recommend is to keep in mind the cognitive and the physical, the emotional and the spiritual state of the person. What are they able to do and to take part in? And this could be anything from bringing gifts of music. It could be a special pillow or a blanket, something to convey comfort. It might be a subscription to a magazine or to a newspaper, a bird feeder that could sit right outside their window. Anything to hold. What I would suggest, there are many options too as far as food and teas and oils. What I would just recommend is to check in, because sometimes certain smells can make individuals very, very sensitive. So just to be aware of what may cause some nausea versus exactly what could bring healing.
Okay.
So essential oils in a diffuser would be another really great option, assuming that can be tolerated.
Okay. Well, you mentioned comfort blankets and shawls, and I wanted to ask you, recently the bereavement department at Hospice of Washington County started sharing blankets with their clients, their bereavement clients, that were made by the Nitwits in Hancock, Maryland. Can you talk a little bit about what that means to the folks receiving those blankets?
It has been such an incredible gift to be able to share, because this is such a tremendous group of individuals giving their time and their skills, and they're just opening their hearts. And truly, this is a gift that when given, we are finding many bereaved individuals to be extremely comforted, and just that feeling of being enveloped in a nice big comfortable hug.
Yeah. So as the Nitwits started out, they were just making the blankets for our patients, but they've made so many of them that it has expanded. And we recently purchased little labels that say, "This blanket was lovingly made for you by the Nitwits of Hancock, Maryland." And I just feel like it's a great gift to those who are receiving them, but it's a gift to the women who make them to be able to share their skill and talent.
Absolutely.
Too. Yeah. So Cathy, I was wondering if you have any suggestions on tips for visiting either bereaved or a sick patient. What kind of things should people keep in mind? What kind of activities might they do?
Another great question, and I think what's really important to keep in mind here, again, the state of the individual, but also to not have the expectation that you are going to be entertained. That should not be the case, and not have the expectation that you have to entertain. It may be just a short amount of time, and I would always encourage the individual to be in touch with the primary caregiver, to ensure that the individual is up for a visit, to be sure of the amount of time. It doesn't have to be a lengthy visit. I think quality is much more important. And it could be just a sharing of time together, watching a television show or reading a piece from a newspaper clipping or a book, giving a hand massage, sharing a snack together. There are lots and lots of options.
And I know I've heard you say that there's really another gift, and that is just the gift of quiet presence.
The gift of your
time can't be overlooked.
You're so right. Giving the gift of time is truly the best gift, I believe, that we can give to anybody.
So we have just a little bit of time. I was wondering if you have a personal story you'd like to share.
My goodness, yes, I do. And there are so many. But one that really stands out in my mind is I had been visiting a patient. And this didn't happen on the very first visit. It took a little bit of time to build some rapport. But what I learned about him is that he, in his life, had been a chef. And he began sharing stories about his time in other countries and making all these extravagant dishes. And he had really, really been missing that opportunity. So on a day when he was feeling particularly well, we wheeled his bed into the kitchen and he walked me through step by step how to make this specialty. And so for him, it was this great opportunity to create that again vicariously through me.
And share the
but
knowledge.
Yes, exactly. I was given such a gift by having that memory as well as the recipe in the end, which will forever be a great memory.
Thank you so much for sharing that story. Cathy has provided a lot of helpful information that hopefully will help you select a meaningful gift for those you care about who are ill or grieving. Her ideas, tips, and suggestions are creative, unique, and straight from the heart. Please know that Hospice of Washington County cares and is here for you during this holiday season and every day of the year. Stay tuned. I'll be right back with our next guest.